Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to a new edition of the USF Pro Insider. My name is Rob Howden, episode number 92, just one day away from New Year's Eve. It is December the 30th, ready to cap off what will be our final show here for 2025. Lots of different shows lined up for around the corner. January is going to be busy with weekly shows, leading all the way, of course, into spring training. But I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas and is looking forward to a fantastic New Year's Eve party tomorrow evening as well. If you're obviously tuning in, you know who we have on the show today from exclusive Autosport. Anthony Martella will be joining us, as will JT Hoskins from J. Howard Driver Development. Both those young guns coming to join us here. Exciting seasons for them in 2026, as well as the remainder of the drivers we'll see in the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire moving into the new season. Lots happening, as we know. The driver announcements coming out fast and furious. I have 4 new announcements from the last show that we had last week when I had David and Ernesto Martinez on the show from D-Force Racing. First and foremost, Kaylee Countryman, who ran in USF Juniors last year with exclusive Autosport, staying with EA, staying with the team. She'll do a partial USF 2000 program in 2026. As you may have saw, she also got accepted to be part of the F1 Academy, the all-female series, the races alongside F1. So Kaylee will be heading over to run with Haas there. So exciting news for Kaylee Countryman, but she will stay grounded here in the USF Pro Championships with a partial program, 4 weekends in USF 2000. We'll try to find out exactly which dates we'll lock down here for her. Elias Vignola, a new name for us coming out of the Mexican NACAM F4 series with D-Force Racing. Elias will be in USF Juniors, so he'll be one of the young drivers making the move up from the F4 Mexican series. We talked to the guys from D-Force last year. That's where Pato Award cut his teeth as well. First time into a Formula car in the F4 NACAM series. So a couple announcements there. Wesley Gudler, the first driver to be announced for NV Motorsports, that brand new team that debuted last year at the season finale at Portland. They have 3 cars set to go. 1 driver announced, Gundler finishing 3rd last year in the F1600 Championship Series. A number of wins, narrowly losing the title there. Should be very impressive with NV Motorsports as a rookie in the USF 2000 program. And last but not least, announced just earlier today, Victor Couto, who finished 3rd last year, this past year. I should say last year, but I'll have to wait till we get past into Thursday and Friday for that. But Victor Couto finishing 3rd in the Formula Fara series, 3 wins in that program, running with Ganella Racing. So making move up with Zanella, where he will stay connected with Ernie Ganella, running for Jose and Jessica Zanella at Zanella Racing in USF Juniors. More announcements, I'm told, being coming from Zanella, as they're going to have a big team in USF Juniors. We already know that Leonardo Scorpioni locked and loaded with that scholarship he won last year to move into the USF 2000 program. All right, let's bring the guys in here right now. Let's bring in Anthony Martella to start. Then we'll bring in JT Hoskins. These guys, of course, coming in from different climates. Let's put it that way. Anthony up in Canada, JT down in Florida. Guys, thank you so much for taking some time out here on a Tuesday to join us leading into New Year's.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. Thanks for having me.
JT, can you got us there on the audio? Can you hear us?
Yo, Rob, I'm gonna be totally honest. I cannot hear a word you're saying. Like, okay. It's just like it's deaf.
Well, we need to see. Well, maybe just try to if you want, just to try to change your audio to the speaker. Make it some audio echo there, but we'll see how it plays out. You play around trying to find a better audio source for yourself. We'll get
Anthony,
started.
Do you hear Rob?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't hear you.
There you go. We got to figure out something for JT. You got to figure out which audio source you're going to use. If your earbuds maybe died on you, otherwise you can just go to the speaker on your laptop. That will work if we can try that. Anthony, as JT goes to work on that, let's talk to you a little bit. What have you been doing for the last 4.5 months? I know the season obviously finished very quickly. We were done by the middle of August after IndyCar moved Portland a little further up into August. You guys have been, I know you've been testing. What have you been doing for the last 4.5 months? School's got to be in there a bit.
Yeah, Rob. Obviously, we've been doing some testing down in Florida. Went to Road America. Obviously, went to the Indianapolis Fall Combine, which was very good. But yeah, back here in Canada, it's very cold here, so there's not a lot of racing we can do. But other than that, getting caught up in school, getting ahead with my school program, as well as keeping busy in the gym, locked and loaded with that every single day, and as well as doing a lot of time in the simulator, as you can see behind me. We're doing the hours in the sim, my friends, competitors, the teammates, putting in the hours there to get ready for 2026.
It's the big checklist, isn't it? All the stuff you have to, like you said, I like the getting caught up on school because obviously we're done a little bit earlier into August. You guys get back into school and hammer down through, even though, like you said, you're trying to be down south to try to get to a number of the testing opportunities. JT's still working on trying to get that audio working for him. If you have any kind of earbuds, or just use, JT, if you can hear me, just use the audio in the laptop. Let's move a little forward. We'll come in a second. How much time do you actually spend on the sim? Obviously, it's a crucial thing, Anthony. I think that people that weren't around or were around when the sims weren't there, man, you guys can really leverage them to learn new racetracks, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, I can speak for myself. The sim does help me a lot, as well as getting to know the racetracks, and as well as maybe the cars aren't the same as what we do in real life, but the tracks are. So just learning the tracks, learning what curbs to hit, the lines to be on, and stuff like that really helps me as well. It's just fun, keeps you busy during the day as well. And yeah, racing with my friends online and with different people around the world, and in a competitive way also, teaches you racecraft as well. So that personally helps me a lot and keeps me sharp for when I go into the car next.
That's the word I was going to use, right? It keeps you sharp for sure. JT is back. Can you hear me,
I can
JT?
hear you. Yes.
I can hear you as well. So let's start with, hey, happy birthday, dude. 17 years
Thank
old.
you.
I love it. I love it. I had no idea. You're taking time out for your birthday? Man, you could have told me. I would have said, okay, we can reschedule. But great to have you. Great to have you with us. We just went through Anthony. I asked him the question. It's been 4.5 months since you guys got out of the car, the last race out of Portland. What have you been doing? I know you've been doing some testing, but how have you been keeping yourself busy over the last 4.5 months?
Definitely a lot of schoolwork that I needed to catch up on, because health wise it was not the best year. I'm gonna be totally honest, unfortunately. So I've been sick for a lot. I've been missing school. Been on the sim a lot with all my friends. A lot of dinners. I just got a new jet ski for Christmas.
I saw that on social media.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So basically I've just been living life.
JT, I know you said you're battling some health stuff. You also obviously had that big wreck at Road America. Are you back to 100%? Have you got things handled yet, or what?
I am 100%. Yeah.
That's awesome.
After a month, when I went back to Road America, I was 100%.
Let's dive into testing, Anthony. Let's come back to you. Your second year in USF 2000. So I always find it interesting. How much different things were you last offseason to this offseason, right? You're learning a new car. Last offseason. This season, however, all this testing, you've already got a full season in. Are you able to focus differently on different things, like really maybe extracting the most out of a car, optimizing it when you've been in the car all year long?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, from where I was last year till now is completely different. I mean, going into the dark necessarily, jumping into a USF 2000 car, trying to adapt and get to know the car, as well as the tires, the brakes, really everything. So now, I like you said, I do have a full season under my belt. I do know what is required to win a race. I know what the racing looks like now. So going into the off-season testing as well, just keep developing my skills as a driver, as well as making sure that my feedback is good with the engineers and making the car better as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, because there's the big contrast, right? You were able to come back into the USF 2000 car and really kind of get a feel for it and push for those last couple of hundredths of a second. JT, let's talk about you. Big jump. You're going from USF Juniors up to USF Pro 2000 next year. We've seen that happen before. Tough. I just lost the top of my head. It'll come to me. Elkin. He was able to make the move. Ariel Elkin made the move up from the two, but he had a lot more experience in karting wise. How's the jump in for you? It's a big contrast going from that juniors car to now the pro car at 260 horsepower. What do you feel? It's got more of everything, right?
Yeah, I think it's a big step, but I think it's the right choice for me in my career, because just me and my family made the decision to do that because it would benefit me in the future. So I could get used to like more downforce cars, like the USF 2000 car. It's basically a juniors car, just faster,
Yep.
a little bit more downforce, basically the same thing. It's just faster. But I would rather spend 2 years in a Pro 2000 car and really get to know that and in my second year, maybe have a go at the championship than being a 2000 for a year.
Yeah, I
That was just
understand. Yep.
yeah, that was like our plan.
So away from the plan, you dive into the car. It does it take a couple of sessions depending on what track you're at? Have you gone back to some other tracks of testing where, hey, I finally got a feel for it? But how long did it take you to get used to those, the better braking, the more downforce, carrying that speed through the corner, trusting the downforce with higher corner speeds? How long did it take?
Well, definitely at Road America, my first test when I first jumped in the car, I was like, wow. It for me, it was like, wow, man, this is crazy. And just the amount of speed you could roll through the corners is just unbelievable, man. And the power is just it's like sensational. I don't know. I love it. But it took me, then we just did Indy, so I got more comfortable with it. But thank God I have a full year of learning and I could learn and develop. And I think by the end of this year, I'm gonna know it. I'm gonna know it.
Yeah, that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
Anthony was, right? He
Hmm.
really got a good feel, knew that USF 2000 car. So in your again, I'll have the same conversation I had with Anthony with you next off season. Hey, now you're going into an off season where you've already driven the car all year long. I will say this: if you want to sample the car and everything it has, Road America is the place to get into it for the first time because what was the sense of speed feel? I've talked to some guys about that. The 2000 to the pro car, maybe the sense of speed, not so much. What was it like going into turn number one, or let's say going in to the kink in the pro car?
Kink was easy. Kink was fine.
There's a downforce is there if you trust it, right?
Yep, 100%.
Yep.
The carousel, that was like, wow. I mean, man, it's like a roller coaster through there. Like you got it, and it's like, oh, like it's wild. It's a surreal feeling, man.
I love it. That's
It's
awesome.
crazy.
All right, let's look back at 2025. Anthony, we'll start with you. 7th overall, 9 top tens, a lot of great consistency. I would just say a solid rookie year. A big win, of course, at the Freedom 75 at IRP. A massive victory for you. When you go back and look at 2025, what do you feel? Are you happy with the way things played out?
Yeah, obviously, rookie season, I think I could be pretty happy with how I performed in my first year. We've had our highs, like you said, winning the only oval of the year in the Freedom 75, and we've had our lows, like the unfortunate crash at Mid Ohio. But at the end of the day, the team at Jay Howard did a really good job in helping me learn and develop as a driver. Jay's one of the best coaches I've worked with. And yeah, I think it was a very good season, and I'm looking forward to bringing what I've learned in 2025 over into, a championship fight and a championship campaign in 2026.
Yeah, we'll obviously dive into 2026 in a second to talk about you reuniting with exclusive Autosport. Obviously, the oval was big. Was there another race in 2025 you look back and go, man, I felt like I was on my game that weekend, or maybe a track I just kind of figured out? Was there something that you could point to?
Yeah, like I said before, Mid Ohio was somewhat a track where I felt like we had all the pieces to win. Topping 2 out of the 3 practice sessions,
Yeah.
having never been to Mid Ohio before in my life. Obviously done it on the sim, but never physically driven the track up until that point, and we came away with some unfortunate events after some bad luck. But at the end of the day, that's racing sometimes.
JT, let's come to you. 11th overall in the championship, 7 top tens, a really good run of top tens. Obviously, the jump up to USF 2000 with the wreck at Road America. We don't really need to talk much about that unless you want to, although it was, I think, a character-building move for you, able to come back a couple of weeks later in the juniors car and really be right back on the throttle. How do you look at the USF juniors program for you last year?
I think my rookie season, my first full rookie season
Yeah.
in USF Juniors, I think it was a great stepping stone in my career. And I think overall it was good. We did more good things than bad, which is what you should be doing.
That's right.
And I think Jay and Joe and all the guys at Jay Howard really helped me understand what I'm doing in the car and what I'm supposed to be doing, and also how to act outside the car as well. And like I have no go-karting experience or anything, so I basically just got thrown in the deep end,
You did.
right? And I think my first race was at Mid Ohio for the half season of USF Juniors, like a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And I thrown in the deep end, thrown in the fire. I think I got lapped. And then at Portland, 2 races later, I finished 10th. So that was nice. So that was some improvement. And then the first full USF junior season, we did really good. And then we had an accident. Then one month later, we went back to Road America and we finished 4th.
Yeah.
So I think we had an overall. I think we had a great season in 2025.
It's
a lot of things to learn from.
You know, JT, if you were looking like a stock trade, right? It's kind of had those. It was little ups and downs, but it was always trending up.
Yeah,
you know
I was
mean?
Really going like this.
Always, right? You were always the speed was always there. You know, and a lot of times, as you guys both know, Anthony, you know this. If you're in the middle of the pack, sometimes that's where the chaos often is. You get collected into a wreck. It's not your fault, but you're just there, and on the results it says 14th or 20th, whatever, and you knew you had the speed. I think trending upwards the entire time, JT. I think that's really a good way, a theme to look, because, like you said, you peaked at the end nicely. You kept learning. You kept getting faster. And that comeback at Road America from the incident into juniors, I think that's going to be something you'll be able to look back on. Maybe not quite yet, but you're going to look back on that in a couple of years and go, man, I impressed myself with that. I think you impressed a lot of people in the paddock, I think, coming back as you did.
I was also pretty impressed with myself. I think with the last 3 races, I finished in the top 7 for the last races, I think.
Yeah. You were packing the points.
Somebody could fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's true. And I had 2 5th-place finishes, 1 4th, and then 1 7th.
Yeah. Good results, right? To cap the season, to have the momentum going into the offseason. Now, into the offseason, testing. Let's segue to 2026. Anthony, you're part of the USF 2000 program. There's not a lot of difference. Obviously, juniors, 4 different venues for juniors. For JT, he's got some new stuff coming. So when we get to JT, we'll talk about a lot of new stuff for JT for 2026. There is one big one for you, though, Anthony. The St. Pete's there, Mid-Ohio, Road America, Portland, Indy, the Oval. Your home race that used to be down on Lakeshore Boulevard down in Toronto is now right in the backyard in Markham, Ontario. It's a brand new track. What can I just ask your thoughts? What do you like? It's going to be such a wild weekend for you. Not only are you going to be now, focused on trying to win races in USF 2000, but a brand new racetrack, and you are going to be busy, man. People are going to want a lot out of you that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Markham's always is something new for everyone, and it kind of brings me back to my old go-karting days. Going to the SCUSA Supernats. They give you the track on Tuesday, and every driver has to figure it out, right? So it goes back to that. I'm really excited. All the newer teams can't really say that they've never been there. No one's been there. No driver's seen it. So it's going to be something new for everyone, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
One of the things I find interesting is that, I've watched you a lot during the Toronto weekend last year, and you were doing a lot of stuff. I know you were up super early for a couple of early TV plugs, TV hits, interviews. You got a year under your belt as kind of the star of the weekend, right? The guy that everybody's focusing on, the Ontario driver, the hometown driver. Do you feel like you're going to be a little better prepared for it this time around, kind of knowing what to expect?
Yeah, 100%, right? I mean, the race that we did before that was Mid-Ohio. And Mid-Ohio, we really didn't do any media stuff. Yeah. And then going to Toronto, just got thrown in the wolves, doing press conferences, going on the news. There was a lot of different stuff that was thrown at me. And I feel like I did the best I could to prepare for that. And, having that new experience now, that was after last Toronto Indy, now going into Markham for next year, I'll be a lot more prepared, and I'll know how to manage it better. And obviously it comes with more experience in talking to people as well.
And let's go to St. Petersburg, because that's an interesting one as well, right? You'll now have 1 year at St. Petersburg. You had the Toronto Oval. So you've got the Toronto street circuit. So you've got a couple of street circuits coming back for a second year at St. Petersburg. I think you're just a totally different driver when you come back. Would you agree?
100%. Going into St. Pete, you only do a couple tests in the off season, which I did. And I think we finished 6th in St. Pete last year. It was the first, the opening race. Yep. Going back and going into 2026, I'm excited for St. Pete. I've driven the track before. I've raced it before. Now I got the race under my belt now. So going into the streets of St. Petersburg, I feel confident, and I know what it takes to go win the race.
Yeah, you're up. You're up on a lot of guys that are going to be coming in raw for those first couple of practice sessions. JT, let's come to you. Before Elaine Sinclair's got a question for you. What's JT stand for? I don't know that I've ever asked either.
Okay, so a little backstory. So J is for John, and so I'm the third. My dad's the second, and then his dad's first.
Yep.
So I'm the third. J is for John. T is Tabraka. So Tabraka is Dutch. I think it's a maiden name. I think.
Okay.
I don't really know.
You need to find out.
Yeah, I know, man. I got a very long name.
Well, we'll get back into that later. I love that. All right, let's talk about 2026 for you. As I said, Anthony, not a lot of changes. Obviously, Markham, you'll be there as well. But let's just start out with the fact that, JT, your first ever street race, your street circuit race in the USF Pro Championship is going to be at Arlington. That is going to be a fast racetrack. What are your thoughts on starting the season off at the Grand Prix of Arlington?
I think it's once again throwing me into the fire.
The deep end of the pool.
Yeah, deep end of the pool, man. Once again, I kind of like it though, because if you get like nervous or you have like little fear, like something, if you could use that, and some people could hone in on that, and they could use it when they're in a race car, and you could use that power like when you're driving. That's how I kind of deal with it, like with nerves and stuff. But I think it's going to be a fantastic experience. I mean, wow, like what an opportunity.
I think for you guys, for the whole series, to be part of this race for the first time, that this is going to be an event. They're putting the time in on this one here, which I think is absolutely tremendous. So your street circuits, right? You're going to run Toronto as well, which is now Markham. How about the fact you'll also make your oval debut this year at 2 races, not only IRP, but you're getting a chance to run the iconic Milwaukee Mile. What kind of experience do you have testing wise on the oval with Jay Howard?
I am yet to do a test on the oval. I have never been on an oval.
Wow.
So
the simulator, at least.
Yeah.
Anthony's smiling like,
I know.
Oh, dude.
My neck's gonna be dead, man.
Yes.
I've been training a lot on my neck, but I mean, it's probably not going to do anything when I get in the race car. It's I'm going to be like dead.
Anthony, what was your neck like at the Freedom 75? Were you prepped and ready for that one?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of work, during the season to prepare for that race. I knew it would be hard, and yeah, I think really the only reason why I got through the race was because of how much preparation I've done, as well as, the hunger of being in the lead and just constantly pushing for more and that adrenaline.
Yeah.
But obviously it's one of the most challenging races I personally have ever done. And it's something that, you'll never really experience with a road course.
100%. Yeah. And again, when the car's good, the next little better. When the car's not as good, it's a little tougher on you. Guys, let's talk about 2026. One little question. Anthony, I probably figure out which one, but is there a one race that you're looking forward to in 2026?
I mean, I could say the Freedom 75 just because, going back to back would be pretty cool.
It would.
But for me, I'm looking forward to St. Pete as well as, my hometown of Markham. If there's one race I would want to win, it's definitely my home race. Toronto last year, that was my race that was my favorite race and the race that I'd want to win most. And this year, coming into my second year at USF 2000, the future looks bright and going for race wins and going for a championship. And yeah, I'd say Markham is a race I definitely want to win.
I think you line them up. You got Markham. You're trying to go back to back in the Freedom 75. You just talked already about how much you like running at Mid-Ohio and how quick you were. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for you to pick one for sure. JT, you look through the USF Pro 2000 schedule, and there are some badass racetracks in there.
Arlington, I just looked, Toronto.
Yeah. So what is there something in 2026 you're like, I can't wait to get there?
Yes. Arlington, 1000%.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for Arlington.
I'm not even driving it. I can't wait to get there.
I know. It's just going to be like, it's going to be cinema. Okay. IMS. I can't wait to drive IMS. I'm quick at IMS, so I can't wait to drive there. And Mid-Ohio. I love Mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be all good news.
Let's before we wrap things up and give you guys a chance to kind of thank your sponsors and give us your social media feeds. The one thing, and this is going to work for both of you guys, and I said this in the last podcast when I was talking to the Martinez guys from D-Force, Arlington and Markham, those are going to be the two most important track walks you guys do all year long, because there's not as you haven't been on the sim. We haven't been on a brand new racetrack. I don't know how many years again. JT, when you get out there and you're walking Arlington for the first time, I'll say this: you're walking it with one of the best guys. Because anytime I get a chance to do a track walk with Jay Howard, I love it. I always feel like by the end of the track walk, I could probably drive the track. He's so good at his track walks. Anthony, you were with the team as well. You know how good he is on the track walks. What are your thoughts on the track walk, JT? Have you guys even talked about that far down the line yet? Because I got to think it's going to be 2 or 3 times around, because there are no notes on what this track looks like.
I'm not gonna lie, you kind of just like froze.
Oh, okay. I was asking whether or not you think you'd do more than one track walk at Arlington, because it's going to be so crucial, having never been there before.
I think definitely a lot of simulator prep, for sure. And then when I get there and I do the track walk, I think Jay, he's so good at explaining things and like breaking down each corner like one by one. And that really helps me a lot. And I could take notes and I could study it. And I think it's just really helpful. I think he's one of the best there is in USF. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna feel confident when I get there. So
yeah. Anthony, you live close to the track in Markham. Are you going to sneak out there to do some intel?
100%. I got my driver's license now, thanks to Young Drivers of Canada, so I can go there whenever I want now.
Good man, that's awesome.
you just got.
Oh, you just cut out us there, JT.
I think he cut out too. Yeah.
You just got your license?
Yeah, I think the rules are different here in Canada.
Yeah, that's it.
That's brutal. Oh my
well,
God.
he's good to go now. He's good to go.
Good to go.
All right, guys, let's wrap things up here right now. Anthony, we'll start with you. When do you get back in the car? Anyways, when's your next test?
My next test is Homestead in I think mid-January, so that will be my next time in the USF 2000 car.
All right. Well, let's listen. You mentioned one of your sponsors already in Young Drivers of Canada. Who else makes it happen for you?
Yeah, obviously, NIN Transport has been with me since, my early days in go-karting, and when I was winning championships in Ontario at Mossburg Karting Center. Angel and Miguel have been with me as long as I could remember. So they're a big help, as well as, Young Drivers of Canada. That to have them on the car as well as a very big support, as well as, they also got me my driver's license, which I got recently as well. So, happy to have those guys on the car, and looking forward to, bringing their stickers down to Victory Lane in 2026.
Listen, I did Young Drivers of Canada as well, and I think it was 40-something years ago. So there you go. And the company's been around a long time, right?
Yeah.
So, that's amazing stuff. What about following you on social media? Anthony, obviously Canadian fans, all the race fans of the USF Pro Championships, they want to follow you. Where are you on social?
Yeah, my social is Anthony Martella _, I think 2 underscores on Instagram. And one thing I'd also like to point out is that by thanking the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame as well for their help as well.
Let's talk about that. Racing. Let's talk about that as well, right? A Rising Star Award. Yeah,
that's something that I'm very, very proud of, and to have my name alongside a lot of talented drivers is something that I'm very, very grateful for.
Do you feel the weight of the country behind you a little bit? I know I've talked to James Hinchcliffe about this over the years. Parker Thompson, Matt Clark. Are you feeling the weight of the Canadian flag on you?
A little bit, but more so, I just feel honored to represent my country. There's not a lot of people, or not a lot of Canadian drivers that are racing in the USF Pro Championships other than me. Mac, Lucas Nangi just signed with Paps as well. So I'm honored to raise that Canadian flag and hopefully do my country proud.
I love that. JT, let's come to you right now. Just so you know, your dad's popped in here. The T is for your grandmother's maiden name. There you go.
Right? Oh my God, that's my dad.
That's your dad. John Hoskins coming in. That's your great. So there.
What up, Big John?
There you go. Your grandmother's maiden name. I love seeing that continue on. I think that's fantastic. When are you back in the car? I know you're dying to get back behind the wheel as well.
Oof. All right. Let's see here. We're this 30th. Like 2 weeks.
Okay.
I think it's at Homestead.
There you
right,
go.
Anthony? I,
But
th- I
yeah,
think I'm gonna be
that's what I'm going. That's where I'm going.
yeah. I think I'm gonna do Homestead. I think I'm just gonna do every single test until the season starts.
Seat time for sure. JT, how do they follow you on social media? Where are you prevalent? What platform do you leverage?
I leverage Instagram, so at JT Hoskins, all lowercase one. You can find me there. Same thing with Facebook, Threads. Yeah.
Sponsors you want to mention?
IMG's backing me up. My school, love that school. Shot and Precision, my dad's business, and then ECR just came through.
Yeah, let's
Signed
talk about
contract
that.
with Jay Howard.
Yeah, really cool.
So yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. So
Yeah.
ECR is coming in. They're helping the whole team. It's gonna put a fantastic foundation around Jay Howard, and it's gonna make the team better. Java House, Splenda on the car. I think it's really good. It could bring more sponsors in because they see two really big sponsors already on the car, right?
Yeah.
So that could also be helpful as well, like on the business side of things. And yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Java House is actually title sponsor of the Grand Prix of Arlington as well. So you'll be front and center with that ECR Ed Carpenter Racing livery on the cars heading into there for Jay Howard Driver Development. Guys, fantastic stuff. I do appreciate it. Opening round for Anthony is February 27th to March the 1st at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg for USF 2000. JT, we've talked about it already. The Java House Grand Prix of Arlington on March 13th to 15th. Both these drivers getting right back at it. Anthony in USF 2000, JT up in the USF Pro 2000 category. Guys, New Year's Eve tomorrow night. Any big plans, or are we going to lie low? Stay out of trouble. Nothing, just a couple smiles.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do a fire with my dad here. I got a friend coming over to stay at my house. Just have a chill Christmas Eve. Stranger Things, one of my favorite shows is coming out tomorrow, the last episode. So probably binge watch that and yeah, just enjoy.
There you have it. JT, what about you?
I am gonna go have fun.
Oh boy. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll drop you guys in the back of the studio. Don't go anywhere. I want to say goodbye to you before you wrap things up. Anthony Martella, JT Hoskins, thank you so much, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
There you have it, folks. Two young guns in USF 2000, USF Pro 2000. Anthony Martella, of course, focusing on that Markham race where Toronto will move from the Lakeshore up into essentially what is the headquarters of Honda Canada. So it's going to be a fantastic event there at Markham. And, of course, he'll start things off at St. Petersburg. JT Hoskins, though, diving into the deep end with the Grand Prix of Arlington, his first street race ever in an open-wheel four-wheeler car. He's got a couple of ovals as well at IRP and the Milwaukee Mile. Two young guns, as we said, looking forward to see them get rolling again. Of course, JT Hoskins running with Jay Howard Driver Development and Anthony Martella with Exclusive Autosport. Thank you so much for tuning into this edition of the USF Pro Insider, folks. I really do appreciate it. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Stay out of trouble. We want to make sure everybody rolls into 2026. We want to see you all at the racetrack again next year, starting things off, of course, with USF Juniors at spring training at Homestead right in the middle of February. Then the season rolls through to the finale at Road America at the end of September. Lots of money handed out to all the scholarship winners, those champions for 2026. But again, big thank you on behalf of Anthony and JT. My name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.